If you're sick of being out-teamed every match, listen up. Go to IGGM.com for cheap and reliable FIFA coins, trusted by players for over 10 years, with 150,000 plus reviews on Trustpilot. Use code RETRO for 8% off and upgrade your squad today. Link in the description. Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. One buff later, and the entire community is in shambles. Every time EA drops a patch, everything shifts. And this one hit especially hard. The way we attack, defend, and even move on the ball feels completely different now. Because of how buff jockeying got and how much they nerfed R1 dribbling to the floor, we have to adapt fast. If you stay until the end, I promise I'll show you a perfect replacement for R1 dribbling. Something that's just as effective once you master it. Right now, defenders are turning and recovering faster than ever. You can't just rely on old habits like R1 touches or constant left stick dribbles. The game now rewards patience, timing, and intelligent movement. You have to manipulate your opponent's defense rather than trying to run through it. That's why I've been saying for weeks, sending players on runs and timing your through balls is the easiest and most consistent way to score in this new meta. Here's exactly how to do it. While you're still in your own half, send a player on a run. In my 4-5-1 setup, I like sending one of my midfielders, usually my left or right CM, forward with L1. That run isn't for you to instantly pass into. It's to stretch the field and force the opponent's defense to start shifting. Once that happens, you've already created space somewhere else. That's your advantage. Now, while that run is developing, the goal is to work the ball around until it reaches your striker. Ideally, you want your striker to be the one who delivers the final through ball. Think of your striker as the playmaker in this sequence, not just the finisher. If you can get the ball to him while your runner is still building momentum behind the defensive line, that's the perfect setup. In my case, I use Claudia Pina for this exact reason. She's clinical with those precision through balls. Her timing and passing weight make everything click. So here's what you do. As your runner starts closing in on the defensive line, go around your striker. Use your CAM or a midfielder to bounce passes off him. That movement is key. The striker acts as the pivot, pulling defenders slightly out of position and opening the lane for your through ball. Just as your runner is about to break past the line, that's when you play the final ball, ideally from the striker or the cam. Not a second earlier, not a second later. That small timing window is what separates a blocked pass from a guaranteed goal. This sequence works beautifully because of how strong defensive jockeying is now. Opponents are often locked into micro-adjusting with their defenders, expecting to block dribbles or slow passes. But when you disguise your build-up, when you make it look like a recycle before snapping that perfectly timed through ball, it completely destroys their shape. They can't react fast enough. It feels like one clean motion. Run, pivot, through ball, goal. This is also exactly how top players are approaching the game now. They're not forcing the play, they're orchestrating it. Every run they trigger has a purpose. Every pass is meant to shift the defense a little more until the final lane opens up. They use triangles, small rotations, and decoy runs constantly. Sometimes they even trigger a runner just to pull a center back slightly out of place so their striker can get the ball in a better position to play that decisive pass. Once you get used to this rhythm, everything feels natural again. You stop fighting the game and start flowing with it. The patch may have slowed down dribbling, but it sped up tactical thinking. You're rewarded for reading the play and making calm, deliberate decisions. That's how pros are scoring right now, not by over-dribbling, but by setting up chain reactions of movement. So remember, send a run early, work the ball around your striker and wait for that perfect window. The moment your runner starts to break free, play the through ball from your striker or your CAM. Let them be the ones who deliver the killer pass. If you do this consistently, you'll score goals that look effortless, all while your opponents are still trying to figure out why their defense keeps falling apart. And stick around, because in the end, I'll show you exactly how to replace that R1 dribbling. The move that makes this whole approach unstoppable once you combine them together. If you enjoy these types of breakdowns and concepts, you'll love my online academy, Retro Academy. Inside, you'll find over 15 in-depth videos covering key topics like pressing, defending, and dribbling. If you're looking for something more personal, I also offer one-on-one coaching sessions where I teach you the same methods I've used to help my students climb out of their division rivals and develop their own unique playstyle and identity. You can find both links in the comment as well as on my Discord server. where I do short breakdowns like this. Alright boys, listen up. This part of the video, I want to talk to you about how I truly think about the patch, and more importantly, how you should be approaching it mentally and mechanically, because this update, it completely changed the rhythm of the game. The balance between dribbling, defending, and movement is nothing like it was before, and if you don't adjust fast, you'll fall behind. Now first things first, they nerfed R1 dribbling into the ground, like absolutely destroyed it. I don't know who asked for that. I don't know what meeting that decision came from, but it's gone. You guys need to completely take it out of your game. It's not worth using anymore. The responsiveness is gone, the ball control is stiff, and defenders recover way too quickly for it to make sense. It's ridiculous. You can't rely on R1 like you used to. But here's the twist, and this is the good news. Even though they killed R1, they buffed jockeying. And at first you might think that's bad, right? Like, oh no, defending's even harder to attack against. But actually, it's the opposite. Because now that jockeying is faster, people don't know how to use it. Their muscle memory is completely off. Everyone's been used to jockeying being super slow for the last month in EAFC 26. And now, it's lightning fast. So what happens? Their center backs start moving like they're on ice skates. They overcorrect, they oversteer, and they miss their positioning completely. I've seen it in all my clips. Players sliding left and right like they're skating. They don't know how to control the new speed of jockeying yet. And that, boys, is what we're going to exploit. See, in this patch, you have to start thinking about separation differently. You're not going to get it from R1 anymore. Instead, your main weapon now is L1 dribbling. And trust me, it's broken in a good way. I've been testing it for hours, and it's incredibly effective when used properly. But, and this is key, you can't spam it. You have to use it in short bursts. Let me explain how. The easiest way to think about L1 dribbling right now is as a quick touch reset. Every time you're changing direction, you want to tap L1, not hold it, not mash it, just tap. So for example, you're moving one way, you want to change direction, tap L1, turn, let go. Then tap again, turn, let go. It's like breathing rhythmically while you dribble. Tap, turn, tap, turn, tap, turn. What that does is it resets your player's body angle instantly, giving you sharper cuts and little bursts of acceleration. The reason this works so well is because of how people defend now. Remember how I said players are over-calculating with jockeying? They're reading one direction, committing hard, and then overshooting their movement. So every time you tap L1 while changing direction, you're breaking their momentum. You're forcing them to keep adjusting while you stay in full control. It looks so simple, but it's ridiculously effective. I've beaten so many players like this, not by doing anything fancy, but just by tapping L1 at the right time while they slide across trying to guess. And I know some of you are still gonna say, but Retro, wouldn't it be nice if we had our R1 back? Yeah, of course. I'd love to have one ran back. I'd be the first one celebrating if they unnerved it. But right now, it's not about what we want. It's about adapting to what we have. And the faster you accept that, the faster you'll start dominating again. The truth is, it doesn't even take that much getting used to. If you can just retrain your brain to trigger runs constantly and combine that with short burst L1 dribbling, you'll be more dangerous than you were before. Let me tell you why. Because while R1 used to give you control in tight spaces, now your control comes from timing and anticipation. You use L1 dribbling to bait defenders into committing, and the moment they overjockey, you either turn sharply, play a 1-2, or trigger a run in behind. This new patch rewards movement, both yours and your teammates. It's all about creating chaos through small directional shifts and off-ball triggers. And this isn't just about attacking either. Defensively, the patch completely changed the feel of jockeying. It's faster, smoother, and more responsive. But that also means it's riskier. Because of how fast your defenders move now, you can't just rush in carelessly. You'll fly right past your target if you don't anticipate properly. That's why I keep saying, be careful. The number one reason people are conceding soft goals right now is because they're over-jockeying. They're used to that old slow jockey where you could press and recover easily. Not anymore. The speed boost means if you miss your timing, you're done. The opponent's through. So defensively, you need to adjust your distance. Give yourself a little space between you and the attacker. Don't lunge in. Use that faster jockey speed to shadow the player instead of trying to win the ball immediately. Think of it like steering a car. Small movements, not full turns. The moment you see them try to cut or shift direction, that's when you close down. You'll feel how strong the new jockey is once you start using it with patience. And I have to say, one area that really surprised me with this patch is kickoff. Kickoffs used to be so chaotic. People would score instantly with one through ball or a glitchy rebound. Now, they actually fixed it. You can't just score kickoff goals easily anymore. And that's a huge W in my opinion. But what's funny is, a lot of people haven't realized it yet. They're still trying to force those same kickoff patterns, sprinting straight down the middle, and it's not working. The meta kickoff now is about control, short passes, little left stick movements, and using your CDMS to recycle. Build up slowly, and if you do it right, you'll still catch your opponent pressing early. Another thing I've noticed is a lot of people are forming opinions about this patch just by listening to others. Content creators, streamers, random posts. And don't get me wrong, it's good to stay informed, but you can't just copy what people say. You have to actually test things for yourself. Everyone's style is different. Some players want to play tiki-taka, others want to counter. This patch rewards the ones who take the time to learn its flow instead of fighting it. Let's be real. Yes, I'd love if R1 dribbling was still good. Yes, it would make things smoother. But at the same time, this change has exposed who actually understands spacing and anticipation. That's what's exciting about it. It's making players think. It's forcing you to use your brain again instead of relying on muscle memory. So if you are watching this and you're feeling frustrated, here's what I want you to do. Take R1 out of your habits completely. Start practicing with L1 in short taps whenever you change direction. Learn to use triggers. Send players on runs before you even reach the halfway line. And defensively, focus on controlling your jockey speed instead of spamming tackles. If you can do those 4 things, you're already ahead of most players. You'll feel smoother, more confident, and way more in control of matches. The transition won't take long, maybe a few sessions, and it'll start clicking naturally. So to wrap it up, this patch feels weird right now because it's new. But once you adjust, it's actually amazing. The game feels more fluid, defending rewards skill again. And attacking is all about creativity and timing. The meta's changed, but it's still football. And football's about movement, rhythm, and intelligence. So stop complaining about the R1 nerf. Adapt, learn, and keep improving. Because while everyone else is still crying about the patch, we're already finding ways to abuse it. Trust me, boys. Once you get the hang of L1 bursts, you're going to be cooking defenders left and right. All right, boys. That's gonna wrap it up for today's little yap session. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new from it. Do me a favor right now and drop a like on the video. It helps me out more than you know and lets me keep bringing you guys these breakdowns week after week. Also, if you want to go deeper on everything we talked about, especially this new L1 dribbling meta, make sure you check out Retro Academy. I've got a full in-depth video there that breaks down exactly how to master L1 dribbling step by step, how to chain it with player triggers, and how to use it to create those tight pockets of space after the patch. It's all inside the academy, and it's honestly some of my best coaching content to date. And shout out to IGGM for sponsoring the channel. If you ever need safe and reliable coins, don't risk your account with shady sites. Go through IGGM. They've got over 150,000 verified Trustpilot reviews and have been around for more than a decade. Use code RETRO at checkout for 8% off your order. You'll be helping the channel while getting your team stacked for less. Seriously, boys, thank you for all the support you've been showing me lately. Every comment, every like, every message. I see it all. It means a lot. I always say this, but I truly hope I can keep earning the trust you guys have placed in me, both as a player and as a coach. I started this channel just wanting to help people get better at the game, and seeing the community grow the way it has makes me so proud. Oh, and before I forget, if you didn't know already, we've got a newsletter now. In it, I talk about my honest thoughts on the game each week, what's working, what's broken, how I'm adapting, and the lessons I learn both as a coach and a player. It's more personal, more raw, and gives you a deeper look into how I approach FIFA beyond just tactics and gameplay. You can see it in my Discord, which you will find in my Discord, and it's a great way to stay ahead of the curve while understanding how to think like a top player. I appreciate you all as always. Stay calm, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.